everyone. Welcome back to Planet and Prospering. If you are new here, my name is Linnell, and I am going to be talking today about my plans for my fall container garden. I have written everything down, and I will show that to you. If I don't seem to have the usual energy about myself, I'm still a little bit under the weather. I'm not sure what's going on. I have been seeing a doctor, and she has been changing my medicines. I think some of them may have me feeling just a tad bit under the weather, but we are in the process of, excuse me, figuring out what it is I need and how much of it and all that stuff. So hopefully very soon I'll have that energy I used to have. It is basically the end of the summer gardening season, and everyone is preparing for fall and kind of also preparing for next spring. And I have been keeping a notebook since 2020. Not a very detailed notebook, but detailed enough for me to know what I did do or didn't do and all of that stuff. And so I'll show you a little bit of, well, I probably won't show you that part, but I'll talk with you about that part. What I planted this summer and what was successful and what wasn't. And then I will show you my plan for the fall garden. I'm excited about the fall garden, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit. I am in zone 8B. I am in South Carolina. So this summer 2024, excuse me, I planted Roma tomatoes and with one plant. I planted another variety of tomatoes, and in an earlier video, I think I said what it was. I don't remember at this point. I also planted cucumbers, jalapeno peppers, pumpkin, watermelon, spaghetti squash, black beans. I also tried to I planted some green beans, and I'll talk about what happened with that in just a little bit. Cantaloupe, okra, onion, ginger, and I planted two varieties of potatoes. I did a red potato, and I did some golden potato. My garden was not very successful with the majority of these this year. I also planted corn. Some of my things didn't even come up, and I guess I should talk about those first. Let's see. The cantaloupe didn't germinate. The corn never germinated. And the green beans didn't germinate. If you hear the train in the background, I am about a mile from town, but you can hear everything like that from here. So I apologize for that. Let's see. Yeah, those are the things that didn't germinate at all. Then my cucumbers, they grew, and I got whopping two cucumbers from that. I don't know what happened. I'm assuming I didn't have enough bees in the area to pollinate. And I have a story about pollinating in just a little bit as well. The watermelon came up. I got two watermelon. One died, and the other one is currently still growing outside. The spaghetti squash did not, it grew, it flowered, but I guess it wasn't pollinated, so I didn't get any spaghetti squash. I didn't get any black beans. It germinated, but no black beans. The cantaloupe did not germinate. I think I said that already. I planted two okra plants, and one germinated, the other did not. And with the one that germinated, I did get about 5 or 6 okra from that. The onion grew, but they were small. I have not harvested the ginger yet. I have not harvested the potatoes. I do intend to bring you guys along when I do that. The Roma tomatoes did okay. I got maybe about 3 or 4 from that. The other variety of tomatoes, and before I do when I come back to do the potato video, I will have the name of that tomato. They did awesome. They did very awesome. It's a little small, like a cherry tomato, and they did really well because I think I had like 5 or 6 plants of that, and they all did really well considering. Jalapeno peppers did awesome, awesome, awesome. I was able to make some cowboy candy from that, and I still have a good handful left over, and I have one more on the bush out there that I need to get. The pumpkin germinated, grew, had pumpkins, but there was no pollination, so they didn't continue to grow. Let's see, what have I not talked about? I think I talked about everything on the list, and that was the gist of my garden for this past summer. I told you guys about not knowing where I wanted to set up my garden. I even tried with an in-ground portion of the garden. That was the corn, the okra, the spaghetti squash, the black beans, and the green beans. And that didn't turn out well. The area where I have it in is very low. Well, it's not that low. But we've had some shifts with some things here in the area. There's a swampy area on either side of my house, and some beavers got in and destroyed the environment there. So instead of that being where the water stays, it is now flowing behind some of the other houses in the neighborhood and into my yard. And where I had that garden just happened to be where it floods now. It used to not flood there. I also have my raised bed out towards that area, and that will be one of the things that I'll be moving. I hate to move all that, but I will move it closer to the house. So all of that to say this, I have decided to put and I will be doing totally container garden, either container or raised bed. And I'll be honest with you, it's going to be that one raised bed for now. I have problems with my back, and that was not very comfortable for me at all to have to stoop that low or bend over to do that. I was even suffering in the video that I made when I was actually putting the soil in. So I'm saying I'll move it. I may not move it. I may just take it apart, because the way I built it, it can come apart, and then just let everything stay there. But that is a thought that I have to think on, because under that I did put the little fencing to keep, like, things from coming up, moles and other things from coming up from under the garden, to take the stuff. So something's going to happen with it. When I make a final decision, I will definitely let you guys know. So the excitement is that I have decided to bring the garden closer to the house. I do intend to use pavers to hold the pots until I can get help building little stands for them to be in. Please don't forget that I also am trying to do a goji berry farm. And so that is kind of where I kind of am following suit with my container garden. Excuse me, I've planted out 2, and I shared that in a video, 2 or 3 goji berry plants into the containers that I intend for them to remain in. And I have about 3 or 4 more plants that I can do that with. Hopefully over the next season, I'll be able to get some sprouts from the plants that I have now to increase that number. And like I said, have a serious goji berry farm going on. But I will keep you updated with that as well. So the garden, again, will be closer to the house on pavers, and for the simple reason of I have a lot of sun in the backyard. I have the availability of, the option to do that. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I would prefer it to be completely behind the house. I'm trying to keep a path for vehicles to get in, for vehicles to be able to back up to the patio here, to unload and load, things, furniture, whatever it may be, because I don't think it would all fit through the doors. And I have a bar in here, a custom-made bar that my mother had, and I'm trying to figure out now how to get that out. I do want to sell it, and I'm trying to figure out how to get it out, because it was not, when it was built, they didn't think about it ever being removed from the home. So with all that being said, I did not intend for this to be a very long video, but it's turning out to be longer than I wanted it. That's okay though. I'll go right on into my fall plans for my container garden and my one raised bed garden. Let me flip you over. Okay, so this is my planning for the fall garden of 2024. I'm planning it's supposed to start in September. I may hold off things until October, but my first frost date is in or around November the 6th, and that will give us about 220 I think 220 days, okay? So the things that I intend to plant are collards, and I'm finally getting into the mode of planting what we eat and not just planting things to plant them. There is one thing I'm going to plant, though, to try it, but I'll get to that in just a little bit. I do intend to plant some spinach. I want around 10 plants also of kale and turnips. We eat a lot of greens here, and I just want to not only be able to eat them in the season, but to go ahead and preserve them for the future, meaning the summer, where I don't have to fight and clean, because greens are very hard to clean in the summer because of the bugs and everything that gets on them. And I've always preferred fall greens because they cook up quicker and they're tenderer than cooking them from the summer harvest. I think I can plant broccoli. I'm going to try broccoli. I definitely want some bok choy. I want a little bit of radishes. I do like radishes for salads. And I saw a video where someone prepared them in a different, cooked. And I would like to try that as well. I want beets. I want arugula. And I want to try kohlrabi. One of the ladies that I watch, Yellow Door Urban Homestead, her name is Asia, and she raves about the deliciousness of kohlrabi, and I want to try it. So I want to plant at least a couple plants to give it a try and see what it is. I have the seeds already. I just need to plant them. I am not sure if I'm going to plant garlic, but I think I'm going to wait until October to plant the garlic. This is something that overwinters and they grow and produce in the spring. So that's why I'm going to wait until October. I did plant some last year, but my puppy got a hold to the container that it was in and turned it over, and so that was the end of that. Let's see if I can squeeze this in here. Okay, so what I have down here are some other things that I intend to do this fall and winter in preparation for the garden in the future, the spring garden of 2025. I need to add amendments to the soil in the containers that I have. I get plenty of leaves here in the fall, so starting a compost is not going to be an issue for me. I just need to create the place to keep the compost for it to go through its process. So that is something that I do intend to do. I plan to use the leaves to overwinter the raised bed. And this is also the time to prep my perennials. The only perennial that I have are some calla lily plants, and I have one in a large container now that I'm just gonna prep for it. Cut it down, cover it with either leaves or straw, and let it maintain for the winter. And then a smaller one that needs to be transplanted into a bigger pot. I do plan to prune my fig tree. It is too large. It is too large. And when I'm doing my potatoes, I'll try to remember to talk about that and show you that because the majority of the fruit I could not even reach. So that was, I hate to say it, but that the prune tree this year was, not the prune tree, the fig tree this year was a complete waste because I harvested maybe 3 or 4 of the fruit, and that was it. This is also time to do spring bulbs, and I haven't decided what I want yet. So I need to quickly decide what I want and get those in the ground so that they will be ready for next year. I did not save any seed this year. There isn't anything, well, most of it didn't produce. And what did produce, I don't really want seeds for. I have plenty of seeds still. So no seed saving this year, but this is something that I would love to do in the near future, is save some of the seed from my plants. I talked about the permanent planting area already, and I already said that it would be basically a container garden with the one raised bed. I'm not sure if I'm going to ever do any more raised beds, and I explained why with my back and everything. I do like the bags. I had one person to comment about the bags drying out easily, and yes, they do really dry out easily, so you have to stay up on your game with watering them. And I talked about the fact that the garden, the container garden, will be closer to the house, and I will use pavers to keep them up for the ground until I can get the little I don't want to call them shelves or tables, but I wanted to get stands. That's the word I wanted for them to sit in. So they would be up off the ground, and I can maintain the ground as far as grass cutting and weed eating and that type thing. But then they will still be out there. And then finally, just doing other things to prepare the yard and the garden for the next season. And I kind of talked about that already too. So this is what I have going on as far as planning for my fall garden. I do not intend to plant things that I know we will not consume. And as far as the fall garden is concerned, we are heavy on the greens. We love greens, and they will also be beneficial for the chickens as well. And I have not forgotten about or not recorded the chicken coop build. It is because I have not done the chicken coop build. Once I get it done, of course I will record and I will share that with you guys. And it is desperately needed. It's just that I've been having a lot of issues with my health. Not so much sick in the word of being sick, quote unquote, but just trying new things and adjusting to different various medications in the for the purpose of improving my health. And I just haven't had the gusto to go out there and do it, along with having some financial issues with that as well. Material, you guys know, are expensive, and I just haven't been able to get those things that I need and move forward with those things. As it comes to be, I will definitely share with you guys. So again, this is it. I'm gonna, switch you back to me, and then I will end this video. That is my planning for the fall garden. I will definitely bring you guys along as I do these things and get everything set up for the fall. Sorry about shaking the table. I want to thank you guys so very much for taking us some time out of your busy schedule to watch my video. Please like, share, and comment. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that when I post, you will get to the notification that I have posted a new video. Thanks again. I will see you guys again very soon. Take care.